Hello, good evening, students. Today we will see the second problem in time cost trade-off. Okay, TCTO indicates time cost trade-off. So hope you have already gone through the first problem on time cost trade-off. Time cost trade-off is basically the dealing with the concept of optimizing on time and total cost of completion of the project. Okay, it basically total cost is the sum of direct and indirect cost in a project. And so we'll straight away go to the second problem now. So in the problem, you have to be given these 5 data. One is activity, then normal time, normal cost, crash time, and crash cost. Okay, so these 4 data will be given to you in the problem. Of course, indirect cost also will be given. Here in this problem, the indirect cost is given at a fixed rate of rupees 760 per day. Okay, so we have 5 activities in the problem. And how do we start with the problem? We have to calculate the cost slope for the individual activities, which is the ratio of difference in cost divided by difference in time, okay, which varies at a rate of rupees per day, so many rupees per day. So for the first activity 1020, the normal time is 5 days, normal cost is 2200 rupees, crash time is 3 days, crash cost is 3700 rupees, and the cost slope comes out to be 3700 minus 2200 divided by 5 minus 3, which is 750 rupees. Okay. Likewise, 1030 activity has got a normal time of 7 days, normal cost of 3000 rupees, crash time of 4 days, and the crash cost is 6500 rupees. The cost slope works out to be 1166.7. So likewise, we have to calculate the cost slope for all the activities. Okay. And how do we start with the problem? We start with the problem by identifying what is the direct cost. The cost given over here are the direct cost values. Okay. So this is the normal direct cost. This is the crash direct cost. Okay. Right. So we have to start with the problem by calculating the normal direct cost for all the activities. By adding up the normal cost of individual activities, we get the normal direct cost for the project to be 13,450. Okay. Now we'll proceed with the solution of the problem. So we do the CPM analysis. That is going to be a first step. So I'm drawing the network by knowing the even numbers, activities even numbers. Okay. And then incorporating the normal time for individual activities, I have to calculate what is the target of the project. Okay. And the target works out to be 16 days. And the critical path, okay, by conducting forward and backward procedure, the critical path is 10, 20, 30, 40, and it has a duration of 16 days. Okay. And we have two non-critical activities, which are 1030 and 2040. 2040 has a total float of 3 days, and 1030 has a total float of 4 days. Okay. So this is the data from the CPM analysis. Okay. Now how do we proceed? We have to prepare the square network for this CPM analysis, okay, project. And then in the square network, we have to incorporate the crash time against the normal time values. Okay. So first let us draw the square network. So as usual, the critical path is shown as a horizontal line. With respect to the critical path, we plot the non-critical activities. As you can see from the analysis, 1030 has a total float of 4 days, and 1030 has shown as with a total float of 4 days. 2040 is shown as with a total float of 3 days. Okay. So the initial duration of the project is 16 days, which is the normal direct time, okay, or normal time, and the normal direct cost is 13,450 for 16 days of completion of the project. So that is what is written here. Normal time of completion of the project is 16 days, and the associated normal direct cost is 13,450 rupees. Okay. Now to further proceed with the analysis, I'm incorporating the crash time values against the normal time. So as you can see, 1020 has got a normal time of 5 days and a crash time of 3 days, as can be seen from the table. 5 days and 3 days. 1030 has a normal time of 7 days and a crash time of 4 days. So 1030 normal time is 7 days and the crash time is written by the side of it in the red mark within bracket. Okay. So what is the meaning of this? So each of these activities from, for example, 10:20 with a normal time of 5 days can be crashed to 3 days. That means 2 days of crashing is possible in 10:20. Similarly, 10:30 is having a normal time of 7 days. It can be crashed to 4 days. That means 3 days of crashing is possible in 10:30. 20:30, 2 days of crashing is possible. 20:40, again 2 days of crashing is possible. 30:40 also, 30:40 has 3 days of crashing possibility. Okay, so this we have to incorporate in this square network. Okay, now to proceed with the crashing process, stage 1, we have to see crashing means it is reducing the time of completion of the project, which is possible by reducing the duration of critical activities. Okay, so critical activities are the ones which influence the target time or the project completion time. So we have 3 critical activities in this first stage, as you can see, 10:20, 20:30 and 30:40. So we have to identify which of the 3 critical activities have to be crashed first. And for that, we have to see what is the cost slope of each of the 3 activities. Now from the table we have already calculated, I have marked it by the tick mark here, the critical activities. 10:20 is 750, 20:30 is 1300 and 30:40 is 833.3. So these 3 critical activities, of these 3 critical activities, 10:20 is having a lowest cost slope, least cost slope of 750. Therefore, of the 3 critical activities, we have to crash 10:20 first. That is what is written here. As you can see, activities 10:20, 20:30 and 30:40 are critical. 10:20 having the least cost slope has to be crashed first, so that there is a minimum increase in extra cost. Every time you crash an activity, the same work only is going to be done, but then the time of completion of the work is reduced by deploying more resources. Therefore, there is an increase in cost. So that increase in cost should be as minimum as possible. For that only we are doing this. Which of the critical activity, if crashed, first will give a minimum increase in cost. Okay. So as per our calculation of cost slope, we find that 10:20 is having the least cost slope, and therefore we will go for crashing it first. Okay. Now, how many days of crashing possibility is there along 10:20? We have to see. So you see 10:20 has got 2 days of crashing. From 5 days, I can bring it to 3 days. That means 2 days of crashing is possible for 10:20. Now, when I crash a path, a critical path, I have to look at the parallel non-critical paths. Okay. In the process of crashing a critical activity, the parallel non-critical activities can become critical in the process. So we have to also be very cautious about that. Okay. So, uh, 10:20 has 2 days of crashing possibility. So if I crash 10:20 by 2 days, what is going to happen to this parallel non-critical activity? It has got total float of 4 days. So 2 days, if I reduce here, it is not going to literally, it will still remain as non-critical with 2 days float. Okay. So for 10:20, this is only the parallel path. Okay. So 10:20:40 total float of 3 days is there, and that is not, this crashing is not going to impart that or impact that. Okay. So therefore 10:20, when I crash this, I have to look at 10:30 as the parallel activity. Okay. So I can crash 10:20 at one stroke by 2 days. Okay. Because the parallel path will still remain as critical by losing only 2 days of total float. Okay. So I'll go for crashing 10:20 by 2 days fully, since parallel path 10:30 has total float of 4 days. Now for this crashing process, what is the extra cost incurred? I have to see. So the extra cost incurred for this crashing is going to be cost slope of that activity multiplied by a number of days of crashing. Cost slope multiplied by number of days of crashing is going to be the extra cost incurred. And so if you see cost slope of 10:20 was 750 multiplied by 2 days. Why are we multiplying this cost slope with 2 days? Because cost slope unit is so many rupees per day. So if I multiply it by number of days, I will get the extra cost in rupees. So the extra cost of crashing 10:20 by 2 days is working out to be 1500 rupees. Okay. Now activity 10:20 has been fully crashed. From 5 days, it has come to 3 days. No further crashing possibility is there on 10:20. Okay. Right. Now we have crashed the project by 2 days. That means from 16 days, we have brought it to 14 days. That means 2 days of crashing has been done. Now, what is the direct cost associated with this 14 days of completion? So, it is going to be direct cost for 16 days, which was originally calculated one, plus extra cost of crashing this project by 2 days or crashing this activity by 2 days. So that is how we have to calculate the direct cost for this 14 days of completion. Okay, so direct cost for 16 days plus extra cost of crashing by 2 days. So direct cost for 16 days, we have already got it. We have calculated that it is coming out to be 13,450 plus extra cost of crashing, which we have calculated as 1,500 rupees. So the total direct cost for 14 days of completion is 14,950 rupees. Okay, so this is the first stage. Now we'll go to the second stage of crashing. So second stage of crashing, we have to update the network. Unless we update, we will not be able to understand or further proceed with the crashing process. So we'll update the network by incorporating the change that we have done in stage 1. Okay, now 1020 is 33 and it has completely exhausted all its crashing process. The normal cost has become equal to the normal time has become equal to the crash time, and no further crashing possibility is there. Okay, the remaining activities are just like the same, as it was originally available, and the project duration is now 14 days. Okay, now we find that 1020 has been completely crashed, and 20, 30 and 30, 40 are the remaining two activities which are critical, and the parallel non-critical parts are still remaining as non-critical. And as you can see, 1030 has lost 2 days of total float, and now it is having only 2 more days for of total float, whereas 2040 has 3 days of total float. Okay, so we have to crash only these two 2030 or 3040 critical activities. So of these two critical activities, again we have to see which is the critical activity which has got the lowest cost slope. So if you see that 1030 has got the lowest cost slope. 1 minute. So if you see from the network, 1030, sorry, not 1030, 2030. 2030 is 1300 and 3040 is 833.3. Okay, so 2030 and 3040, if you see, these two are the critical activities now. So 3040 is having the lowest cost slope. Okay, so therefore we have to go for crashing 3040. Okay, in this second stage. Okay, so hence crashing 3040 by how many days we have to see. Okay, so 3040, if you see, for 3040, 3 days of crashing possibility is there, but for this 3 days of crashing, I have to see whether any parallel activities, non-critical activities having total float. So non-critical activity has got a total float of 3 days. So if I crash this by 3 days, the non-critical activity will completely get exhaust its total float, but still it will just come and become critical. So therefore, we can go for completely crashing 3040 by 3 days, because the parallel non-critical activity 2040 has got 3 days of total float. This 1030 will not impact 3040's completion, 3040's crashing. 3040, its crashing will impact 2040 only, because that is the parallel activity, non-critical activity for 3040. Okay, are you able to understand this, students? I'll once again repeat. So 1030 is the critical activity which has got the lowest cost slope compared to 2030, and therefore we are going for crashing 3040. Okay, so 3040 can be crashed by 3 days. From 5 days, I can bring it to 2 days. That means 3 days of crashing is possible. I have to see the non-critical activity which is parallel to 3040. Now 3040 has got 2040 as a non-critical activity, parallel non-critical activity, which has got a total float of 3 days. Therefore, I can crash 3040 completely by 3 days, because there is a total float of 3 days along 2040. So it will not become, it will just become critical, and it will therefore it will only exhaust all the total float and just become critical 2040, and therefore we can completely go for crashing 3040. Okay, but look at 1030. 1030 will not have any impact because of crashing 3040, because it is not parallel to this. Okay, so we will go for crashing 3040 by 3 days fully. So extra cost incurred is going to be cost slope of 3040 multiplied by 3 days, which comes out to be 833.3 multiplied by 3, which is roughly 2500 rupees. Therefore, the direct cost now is for 14 minus 3 days. Original 14 minus 3 days of crashing we have done. So it is 11 days. It comes out to be direct cost for 14 days plus 3 days of crashing, which